as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn one.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
He's going to try and stop Smith. He drops down below, throws the block. Up the racetrack, throws another block. McCann goes to the outside. 3 wide for the race lead in the win here at Daytona. Crosses the stripe and we're all wrecking and Brian McCann takes the checkered flag. Blaze has newer tires, 6 laps newer to be specific. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. He makes some contact with Zach Millett. Millett drops it back to the bottom. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Zach Millett's going to win through the trial for the final time. And oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short's going to win this. He does. Vincent Short wins. Known as the world's fastest quarter-mile oval, Wisconsin's Slinger Speedway is the quintessential bull ring short track. Opened in 1948, its defining characteristics, it's a high banked corners which reach an imposing 33 degrees on each end. That steep banking allows racers to post blazing fast laps, including Jeff Bloom's 9.908 second time in 2010, the first quarter-mile oval lap record in history to break the 10-second barrier. Formerly a flat clay track, Slinger was reconfigured for the 1974 season into its current paved and high-banked state. And most famous race each year is the Slinger Nationals, a 200-lap super late model race that's been won by some of the biggest names in short track racing, NASCAR-like. Former Cup Series champion Matt Kenseth holds the record with 8 wins between 1994 and 2019. Slinger also has a paved X running through its center to host figure 8 racing. Tonight, it's race number 13 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Slinger Speedway. Take a look at the race details for tonight. 78-degree ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze. 200 laps the race distance here tonight. Stage is coming at lap 50 and 110. Track temperature, 122 degrees. Drivers have a full load of fuel at 100% and 3 sets of tires available over the wall. Practice and qualifying completed here at the Speedway as warm-up continues with just a couple of minutes, about a minute and a half remain in this session before we jump right into our starting grid and subsequently the race for this evening. Apologize for our delay within the intro there. Thought we had an audio issue. We did not have an audio issue. It was just me thinking we had an audio issue. But with that said, everything's hunky-dory. Minute left in the warm-up session. Turzak quickest. Brandon Mefford second fast. Brian McCann, Neil Quick, and Mike Cook. Top 5 in the session. Standings coming into tonight. Kyle Turzak, of course, top of the board, 714 points. Brian McCann, 626. Brandon Mefford at 563. It starts to fall off from there. Garrett Johnston at 424. Josh Funkhauser at 390. So is Mike Cook. Turzak running away with things this season. But with that, oh, we got an issue already. We'll fix that one here, hopefully. We get to our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 12.003 seconds. It's the 051 of Kyle Turzak. Outside front row, it's the 3 of Brian McCann. Missed it by 100th of a second. Brandon Mefford starts third in row number 2. Mike Cook to his outside will start fourth. Steve Durbin, the number 30, rolls for the 5th position. 6th goes to Doug Wysocki. Josh Stewart will start in the 7th position with Matt Kopp rolling off 8th. Josh Funkhauser will start from the 9th position with Neil Quick rounding out row 5. Nuke Quick will start 11th, Chris Wally 12th. And last but not least, 44 Larry Bruner will start 13th. Rather short field here tonight, 13 cars. And honestly, I'm okay with it. Usually we're trying to find more and more guys to come out here and run. They've had really good numbers this season, but on this tiny little short track at a quarter of a mile, I'll take a small field at 13 cars. This could actually turn into a really good race with this car count.
Green flag, green flag.
And green flag. And just like that, lap 1 in the books. Kyle Turzak with the race lead for the time being, with Brandon Mefford running 2nd, Brian McCann 3rd, Durbin 4th, Mike Cook 5th. All single file on to turn number 4. The laps just click away in a hurry here at Slinger. I gotta ask, did anybody notice the updated style of Barney throwing the flag? It's kind of fancy there, right? Nice little update they added as we have a battle for the race lead. Brandon Mefford, not much of a battle, gets to the inside on Kyle Terzak rather quickly through 3 and 4, takes over the top spot, lap 5 up on the board. Terzak's going to try and battle back, or is he? Might opt just to run in behind the 83 for now, take care of the equipment. Again, they do have 3 sets of tires, but I would imagine this place is going to chew them up in a hurry. 200 laps the race distance here tonight. You'd think that sounds like a lot, but again, we're on a quarter-mile speedway here, so we're only going 50 miles this evening. So far, so good. Brian McCann now taking a look to the inside on Terzak. He easily takes the position. I gotta wonder if this just isn't Terzak's cup of tea. I know he was fast in practice. He put the car on the pole position, but he's shed a couple of positions from the start with Brandon Mefford out in front and McCann taking that second position. The overhead shot from the blimp, you can see just how small this place is. About the same size as the high school track. Looking back through the field here, Mike Cook in 4th. Checking back in the stream chat here, Tom Janikowski checking in on the HBR TV chat. IROC chat is busy right now. We got Justin Kivett, I think that's the last name. So it's time for Kyle to get back to his winning ways. And then he says, put him on the figure 8. I don't know if that'd be fun or not, but I don't know, it sounds fun. I just have to assume here that the 051 of Terzak's just kind of biding his time here, taking care of his equipment, not abusing the tires, letting those guys go out and set the pace. Those guys being Brandon Mefford and Brian McCann. Off turn 4, he saves it. That might have been Doug Wysocki. Yes, it was the 34. Oh, we got a spinner. The 84 has gone around. That's Matt Kopp, but we stay green. Still trying to get it righted here. Can't dilly-dally. You got to get going here. You're going to lose a lap in a hurry, and Kopp gets back on the throttle as Neil Quick is spun here in the start-finish line.
Caution.
And there's the yellow. Neil Quick trying to get back up the racetrack.
Like somebody was keying up on your radio just a few minutes ago.
Barney decides to throw the yellow here. So first caution of the evening. We'll take a look first at the incident with Matt Kopp. This is not the reason for the caution. Well, let's take a gander at it anyway. It's just a couple of laps ago. Kopp battling with the 81 of Funkhauser. Loses connection for a moment, comes back in. Still don't see where it happened just yet. We'll go one more couple of corners here and try to switch to the Neil Quick incident. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. So now it shows the Neil Quick spin. I'm sorry, the Matt Kopp spin off the back there. Let's see what happens here with Neil and Funkhauser. Yeah, a little bit of contact. It may have been some net code. But then Neil was trying to get turned back around. I think he was hoping the caution was going to come out. Of course, it didn't. He's patient, but it gets back up on the racetrack, and for whatever reason, it's still through the yellow.
flag.
And there it is. We're ready for another restart. Short track, short cautions, back under green. 25 laps go up on the board as Brandon Mefford maintains the top spot. Now to the inside, the battle for the second position. Terzak and McCann going at it. Terzak has the inside in the 051, the black and red machine down low. Larry Bruner has some trouble out of turn number 4. He slows it way down, but keeps it going straight. We stay green. Meanwhile, Doug Wysocki finds himself up into the top 5 in the 4th position with Mike Cook running 5th. Still the battle side by side with Terzak and McCann. Right on board with the 051. Still Brian McCann to the outside. Close quarters battle here at Slinger Speedway. Got a quarter mile. Very tight tolerances here at the racetrack. Still not quite clear. Terzak keeping the battle alive and well alongside the 3 of McCann. McCann trying to work that outside line, build some momentum. Now Doug Wysocki's taking a look on Terzak. Didn't have a big enough opening in that door to go on through. Wysocki gets down to the bottom, slides up the track just a bit. A little bit of contact with Mike Cook, and real loose off of turn 4 is the 34. Leader's getting into some lap traffic now as the 81 of Funkhauser is next on the list to go down a lap. Funkhauser can maintain his position here until the stage here coming to lap 50. He could get that lap or get waved back around and still stay in this. As it stands right now, Neil Quick, the only driver a lap down. Neil would get that lap back. Is it 1 or is it 2? We'll have to get a look at it here in just a second. Oh, Funkhauser goes way up the racetrack, gets a piece of the wall, and lets him go. So now Funkhauser, the first car, 1 lap down. I was going to say Quick would get that lap back as the lucky dog. No longer the case as Funkhauser. Well, he was the first car 1 lap down, but it looks like Josh is headed to pit lane. Unorthodox pits here at Slinger Speedway. Things are a little bit different. Pit lane is up on the outside of the racetrack. Funkhauser throwing some tires on that number 81. He's going to lose a couple of laps here in doing so. There's the battle out front still. Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann, 1 and 2. Terzak has slipped a few spots while he's still 3rd. So caution comes back out.
You. If you want to stay out, we'll stay out.
Not sure what's triggered this yellow. Funkhauser still in the pit, so it wasn't him. Don't think we're not even at the lap count yet for the stage. We're just kind of throwing darts at the wall. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is. I'm trying to catch who that was. Was that the 84? No. Might have been Nuke Quick. Let's try that. Nope. iRacing not really giving me an indication as to who it was. Try Larry Bruner. All we can do is guess at this point. It's not giving me any information. Maybe it was Matt Kopp. Just cannot win here. Let's go Josh Stewart. One more. There's only 13 cars in the field. We'll get this figured out. Oh, and there it is. All right. Chris Wally gets into the back of the 03. That was Josh Stewart. Not a major incident, but we were trying to get that one figured out.
Green.
And there we are. Green flag already back in the air. Brandon Mefford on the jump. Cross start finished. Battle again for the second spot. Terzak and Brian McCann. On board with Brian McCann as he battles with Kyle Turzak, his arch nemesis this season. Turzak with a handful plus of wins, with Brian McCann only seeing victory lane twice this season thus far. Season's not over yet, though. Still a lot of racing to be had. McCann finally gets clear of Turzak, gets on by. I will say that Kyle Turzak, being a younger guy out there, he certainly has a lot of discipline as far as running on these bull ring short tracks, taking care of the race car. He's still in a position where he can strike against the top two, saving his stuff for when it really matters. And you can see the top two really putting ground on the 051. Some distance between the two as Steve Durbin is now close to the back bumper of Turzak. Right on board with Durbin. Turzak's last lap at 12:58, but the caution comes back out.
I know, man. I think we need to start putting like an age limit on racing or something, you know?
Still not sure exactly who it was. iRacing did not indicate the cause of the caution, so we'll do the musical Cars trick again. We'll see if we can figure this out. Was it Nuke Quick? I'm gonna go with no. Oh, I know what it was. It was the stage. And we knew that. Lap 50 and 110 is some drivers opting for pit lane. Handful at least. Mefford, McCann, Durbin, Wysocki. Turzak stays out on the racetrack. Interesting call there for Turzak. Brandon Mefford in pit lane. Right sides for Mefford and McCann. Again, we're under caution here. We'll see if we go with 4. I don't know if that'd be a great decision. Oh, Mefford's going to take 4 here. This could be a problem. Turzak's already put a lap on Mefford by staying out. Well, that throws a wrench into this whole mix because there's only a few drivers that stayed out, but they're going to be on a lap by themselves. That's Turzak, the 2 of Neil Quick back in the lead lap, and then Nuke Quick in third. The only 3 drivers on the lead lap currently as the pace car hits pit road. Wow, this has turned this race up on end.
Green flag.
And there it is, green flag in the hands and waving once again here from Slinger. Trouble on a turn 4. The 84 of Matt Kopp has gone around. Kopp having a tough night. Unfortunate. I will say, though, the new paint scheme on the 84 looking sharp. Really liking that color combo. Well, let's see exactly what happened. Off the nose of the 44, Larry Bruner. Tell you, Kopp did a good job, though, of spinning that car out, realizing it was straight, though facing the wrong direction. Just let it roll a little bit. No need to be perpendicular to the field, but he gets it squared away back in this. So now Steve Durbin's going to get a lap back, so that'll put 4 cars on the lead lap of the 13 that has taken the green flag here tonight. Again, I got to say, I know we've got a really light car count here, but at this quarter-mile racetrack here at Slinger, you can't even tell. There's so much going on. And honestly, I think this race would have been a disaster with 25 cars. It's just the track isn't big enough for it. You could probably get away with it. We've seen some ARCA races in the past where they've run upwards of 25 cars. It's still chaotic. You're lapping the back half of the field here in just about a handful of laps on these quarter-mile bull rings when you have big car counts. But man, we've had plenty of racing action. It's given these drivers plenty of room to race. And even as it stands, we still only have 4 cars on the lead lap after that cycle of pit stops. Really surprising to see a few drivers stay out when everybody else came down. But no harm, no foul. We've already got 1 more car added back on the list of lead lap race cars. I'm sure we're going to have more cautions. And green flag back in the air. Turzak hammers down in the middle of 3 and 4. We're back racing from Slinger. Talk about Neil Quick. Spun out. Lost a lap. Stays on the racetrack. Now he's right there in the 2nd position behind Kyle Turzak. Drives it way deep, just a couple inches off the back bumper of the 051. Turzak might have scraped the wall on corner exit. Just enough to scrape up the decals on the right side, but continues on. Maintains the top spot. Neil Quick thought he was getting a little deeper than he was, and pounds the outside wall off turn 4. No, he's got Brian McCann to the inside. Now this is the battle for 2nd spot. Off turn number 2, down the short back straightaway. McCann still to the inside. Quick trying to pinch him down to the bottom. You know what they say, you pinch, you pay. McCann gets away with it. Real Quick slips back into the 2nd spot again. McCann pit. He took tires. McCann is actually not on the lead lap. Again, only have a few cars on the lead lap here. It's getting a little screwy. Turzak Quick and Nuke Quick and Steve Durbin, your top 4 cars. You're also your only lead lap cars. Get any subsequent cautions, we would add another driver back to that lead lap each time. Real Quick unable to hang with Turzak. Again, he did have a spin off of turn number 4 early on in this race. Never came to pit lane, has yet to see pit lane tonight. Yeah, very well could be the reason he's slipping the way that he is. He still maintains the 2nd position overall in the standings, but that spin may have hurt those tires a little more than he had thought. I would expect Neil to hit pit lane when he gets an opportunity here if we get a next caution, which we will at our next stage break. Real Quick battling with Brandon Mefford. Mefford not on the lead lap currently. Brian McCann in 5th. McCann's the first car 1 lap down. He is also right behind him. We got trouble off turn number 2. Neil Quick from the 2nd spot. Caution just now comes out. Seemed a little late to come out.
About your car real quick.
Quick not going to chance it, though. He gets back in the gas and continues on. Doesn't want to lose the lap, considering how many are not on the lead lap. But Brian McCann will be back in the mix here, as he's going to be the lucky dog. We go back to green. So let's get a look at it. Quick maintains the 4th position, though he does bring out the caution here. A little late, again, throwing that yellow. We'll back this up, rewind it, try to get an eyeball on how it started. A few drivers involved in this. Chain reaction, it certainly looks like. So it starts with the 2. It looks like he gets just a bit of the left rear of Brandon Mefford. It upsets his car. He starts to slide. Neil checks up very hard to avoid avoid spinning him completely. I think that was definitely not intentional given how hard Neil checked up, but it caused the guys in behind him to kind of domino effect. That chain reaction gets into the back of the 2, sends him back around. Neil Quick falling on the sword, so to speak, here, trying not to spin out Brandon Mefford. Ends up getting spun himself in that heavy braking. Now, folks, we would normally have interviewed the stage winner at the end of lap 50 in that first stage And we typically would if we had the time. Again, this racetrack only a quarter mile in length, even under caution. They're getting around here in about 16, 17 seconds. We barely have time to get the replays in, and Matt Kopp spins. Matt Kopp spins on the formation here, getting ready for the restart. This is under yellow. The 84 goes around. Let's take another quick look at that. Oh, Neil Quick. I don't know if he didn't realize he was down there. They made a little bit of contact. So we're getting ready for a restart here once again. Drivers trying to clean up the rear tires. Turzak has not pit. Durbin has. Newt Quick has not pit. Brian McCann has. And Neil Quick in fifth has also not pit. So 3 drivers out there with the original set of tires. Green flag back in the air. We're racing again at Slinger. Turzak with a big-time restart. Durbin now in the 3rd position. Wysocki gets underneath. Chris Wally does the same, but these are not passes for position at the time being. Right now, Neil Quick being in the 5th position. The last car on the lead lap presently, working behind the 44 of Larry Bruner, who runs 11th. Turzak checking out on the field, putting 2 seconds on Newt Quick. And we got trouble. Newt Quick has gone around. Big time wreck off turn number 2. Multiple drivers piling in. Everybody trying to get righted here in a hurry so they don't go down a lap. Newt Quick going to go the figure 8 route, drives right through the safety truck. And Turzak gets caught up in the middle of this. He has some damage now. Gets into the 34. I think it was of Doug Wysocki. Let's take a look at that. This is just a moment ago. The caution is out. Turzak into 1 and 2, approaching the accident scene as Wysocki's coming down the track, and I just don't know if he was looking down at his overlays or what the situation was, but as soon as he looked up, Wysocki was right there in his path. I think this may have been our caution. Let's see. Newt Quick and Doug Wysocki. This is off 4. Contact with Wysocki. Oh, he spins off the front stretch all the way into turn 2. Let's take a look at that again. Now from the blimp. Through 3 and 4. A little loose on exit, clips the nose of the 51, and he just shortcuts the whole track. Usually I would think there's some more protection there for the tow truck and the safety truck. Wow. Just when you think you've seen it all. So even under caution, this place is a little rough and tumble. Kyle Turzak with some right front damage. I'm curious to see how much damage the 051 is going to end up having. It was a pretty significant impact, even though it was slow speed. It's enough to send Wysocki up into the air a bit. Well, let's try this again here. Lined up, 2x2, ready for the restart. And there it is, green flag back in the air. Turzak still looks okay here, even though he's got a little beaten and banged on the right front fender. Battle for second. Neil Quick and Brian McCann. This is now a battle for position. A little bit of contact into 1 and 2. Upsets the balance on the 3 of McCann. Now he opens the door to Steve Durbin. Durbin wants the 3rd spot, but McCann carrying the run on the outside. Carrying a lot of momentum. He's able to get down and back clear of the 30. See if he can set his sights on the 2 now of Neil Quick once again. It's right on board with Brian McCann. See what it looks like from his perspective. I gotta say, almost seems like the old tires are the way to go right now, because the top 2 are the only drivers that haven't pit yet. Looking at lap times, Turzak ran a 12:33, Quick a 12:32. McCann was faster by about a 10. It's close back in within a car length of the 2 of Neil Quick, back into turns 3 and 4. About 5 laps shy of the end of stage 2. Hanging on to that second position. I think it's just a matter of time here, but you've got to find the opening. Brian McCann's not close enough to make the move. May just continue to ride here in that 3rd spot, though he does need those points. Got to try and cut into that points lead that Turzak has. Lap 110 goes up on the board at the end of the lap. We should close out stage number 2. Yeah, there it is. Caution is out. So your top 10 at the close of stage 2. It's Kyle Turzak, Neil Quick, Brian McCann, Steve Durbin, Brandon Mefford in the top 5. Then it's Matt Kopp, Chris Wally, Josh Stewart, Larry Bruner, and Mike Cook. See if Turzak or Quick opt for pit lane. Are they going to run this whole race on the single set of tires? Don't know if it's a great idea, but so far, as we've just passed halfway, it seems to be working for them. And there it is. Turzak hits pit lane. So does Neil. I don't know if this is going to work out. I mean, he's got some damage to do here. I don't know, maybe right sides only. I can't imagine they're going to go 4. Seemed like that was a mistake early. Minimum right sides for the 051. There it is. Drops the jack. Down he goes. Looks like Neil Quick did the same, and he's going to get stuck waiting. He's going to still lose a lap. Pit exit is closed. He's got to wait for the field to go on by. So now a dominant Kyle Turzak has slipped back. Now a lap down. Lead lap cars will be Brian McCann, Steve Durbin, Brandon Mefford, and Matt Kopp. It's your top 4 drivers. Chris Wally coming out here in the mix. As it stands right now, as we get ready for a restart, Larry Bruner in the first car, 1 lap down. Turzak, the second car, a lap
Green
down.
flag.
Green flag back in the air. We're racing again from Slingers. We got Matt Cook leaving pit lane as the green comes out. That's scary. Mike Cook may end up with a penalty on that. We'll see. Meanwhile, Neil Quick, now the first car 1 lap down. That's the battle for that lucky dog position between Turzak and Quick. Quick in the number 2 with the Miller Lite colors. Meanwhile, Brian McCann out in front ahead of Brandon Mefford and Steve Durbin. We continue to watch this fight now. Caution can come out at any time. Real loose off of 4 is quick, has to save it, opens the door for Turzak to the inside. Turzak takes the spot, bit of a bump and run there, but no run. Neil Quick gets into the back of Turzak and just slows his momentum. Turzak now into the lucky dog position. McCann out in front of Brandon Mefford. Mefford was very fast early on in this race. Now runs second, in behind the 3. Car length maybe 1.5 back from McCann. You see it there out of turn 2, just a car length and a half back to the 83. And there's the caution.
Watch your car real quick.
What do we have? What do we have? Larry Bruner in trouble off turn 2, it looks. Yes, indeed. Turzak is slow as well. I don't know if he was involved in this. Looks like Turzak may have been in this incident. Let's take a look at it. Durbin got the wall off of 4. Turzak goes to the bottom. Durbin just right hooks Turzak. I don't think it was intentional. Oh, man. And Turzak, the frustration's showing. Turzak was just trying to get righted here and just didn't look at the relative or who may have been coming. I'll watch it a little bit slower here. Again, this is out of turn number 2. Durbin's turning down the racetrack. I don't know if he got loose, but either way, he still gets into the right rear of Turzak. You can see how much left turn Turzak has into that race car, trying to keep it from hitting the wall. Valiant effort, but somewhat fruitless. Tries to get it righted. Larry Bruner has to stand on the brakes to try and avoid him, but no can do. Gets into the 051. Big hit. Now remember, folks, there is no fast repair in this series. Turzak could be in trouble here depending on how badly damaged that car is. Either way, we're going to try this again here, go back racing in just a moment.
Green flag, green flag.
Still out in front. Brandon Mefford right on the tire tracks off the 3 out of turn number 2. Ken slips up the racetrack just a bit. Mefford not giving an inch. Getting a little bit closer off at turn number 4. A little loose on exit for Mefford. Turzak still running in the 6th position. He's only 1 lap down, so if the caution were to come out, he'd still get back on the lead lap. Certainly aerodynamics not a factor here at Slinger Speedway, so even though that car doesn't look pretty, as long as the suspension is still happy, Turzak's likely to be okay. Turzak ran a 12:43 though the last lap. Granted, he is in a little bit of traffic. Leaders ran a 12:31 the last time by. Trouble. Turzak goes around off turn number 2 off the nose of Chris Wally. Wally and Turzak were battling for that lucky dog position. That was a big-time hit. I don't know if Turzak just didn't get back to the gas as fast or if Wally got on the throttle, just had that much better of an exit. Either way, he got into him. Try and get a look at it from Chris's perspective. Maybe it was the 44 that had slowed in front of the 051 here. We'll go full speed. It seems, yeah, it really does seem like it. I mean, Turzak. I want to rewind this a little further here and see what it looked like from the roof cam on the 051. Oh, he actually got into the back of Bruner. Chain reaction. There's a lot of that going on here in Slinger tonight. Well, that was the caution that Turzak needed. Unfortunately, he was involved in it, so no lucky dog for the 051. Now Chris Wally is in the transfer spot there as far as that lucky dog goes. Green back in the air. McCann quickly out back in front. Mefford runs second. Third, Neil Quick. Matt Kopp fourth. And we got spin off turn number 2.
Out. Second. Caution for in the wall.
Rewind this a little bit further here. You can see this chain reaction is just a never-ending story here at Slinger. Looks like Durbin gets into the back of the 84. Watch the 30 car in behind the 84, Matt Kopp. See Durbin, it's turning well and he's back on the gas, but just drives right in the back of the 84 machine of Matt Kopp, sends him facing the wrong direction, looking to the infield. Durbin checks up. Larry Bruner doesn't check up enough. Newt Quick gets into the back of Kyle Turzak. Everybody bumping and banging here. You can tell we're getting down to crunch time here at Slinger Speedway as the laps continue to wind down. 143 laps on the board of 200. That'll put our top 6 now on the lead lap. Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, Matt Kopp, Steve Durbin, and Chris Wally.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag back in the air. Into that home stretch. A little over 50 laps remain here from Slinger Speedway. Top 3, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick hanging it out off turn 4. 50 laps to go here from Slinger. We're going to take our HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
caution. What'd you have there, bub?
Back at Slinger Speedway, you see Kyle Turzak involved in another one here, getting turned on the entry to turns 1 and 2. We'll show you again here as we're working this caution. Looks like the Ford Newt Quick. Slow it down again here. He'll get to the bottom of the racetrack here, and I think he'll catch the flat. And it shoots him back up. Nowhere for him to go, but he gets into the 051 trying to save it. Spins Turzak around. Some drivers pitting. Matt Kopp in pit lane. Turzak, of course. I think Turzak might be calling it a night. Not 100% sure on that, but nevertheless, he sits in pit lane. Newt Quick throwing some tires on. Field doubled up. Pace car is in off turn number 2.
Green flag.
And green flag. Lap 170 about to go up on the board. 31 to go. McCann out in front of Brandon Mefford and Neil Quick. Top 5 currently Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, Chris Wally, and Steve Durbin. That top 5 also your only lead lap cars for the time being. Neil Quick remains in pit lane. Once again, it looks like McCann and Mefford starting to stretch things out from the rest of the field. Interestingly enough, the action here at Slinger has kind of calmed down. So we're inside the final 25 laps. Kind of expected the opposite. Things were going to get a little bit crazy. That was one of our longer green flag runs prior to this most recent caution. Mefford starting to lose some touch of the 3 as well. Both drivers pit at the same time. It was back on lap 53, but interestingly enough, Mefford took 4 tires versus McCann, who took rights only. Neil Quick running in 30 also only took rights. Doug Wysocki hits pit road. I don't know if Doug had a problem just a moment ago. Let's get a look at it. 34 showing some right front damage. That might be the reason for the pit stop. Yeah, it just won't turn. It's towed way out. McCann maintaining the top spot. Turzak gets back on the racetrack, trying to salvage as many points as possible. He does have a big lead coming into tonight. Every point matters, though. Anything can happen. As you can see, he's won a ton of races this season. Unfortunately, we have seen, though, anytime he gets mired back outside of the top 5, that red and black kind of looks like a target. Brandon Mefford still running in the second spot, but Neil Quick seems to have the pace right now. In fact, he was a couple of tenths quicker than Mefford that last time by. Mefford seems to be backing his corners up. He's getting much better exit than the 2. On board now with Neil Quick running in the 3rd position. Laps to go here from Slinger Speedway. Brian McCann still out in front. This is the battle for the 2nd spot. Brandon Mefford has it. Neil Quick within a car length or so, lap after lap. Drivers seem relatively consistent. Mefford ran a 12.66 the last time, a tenth faster than Neil. Brian McCann starting to check out. 5 laps to go for the 3. McCann enjoying over a 1-second advantage. Back to 2nd place, Brandon Mefford. Real quick, sliding the rear end off of turn number 4. That's going to chew up those tires. Again, Neil's only made 1 pit stop, though. It was back at lap 113. Certainly fresher rubber on the right side comparative to the top 2, but it doesn't seem to be helping him all that much. He's a little bit faster than Mefford that last time, as we've got less than 3 laps to go. At the stripe, McCann crosses the line here. 2 laps remain. White flag, final lap here from Slinger Speedway. Brian McCann just a couple of more corners to get through here, and he can notch another victory on this season. On to turn number 4, checkered flag. Brian McCann wins it. 2nd place goes to Brandon Mefford. 3rd, Neil Quick. On to turn number 4. Chris Wally finishes 4th. Steve Durbin takes the 5th spot. Brian's got a lot of front brake dialed into that thing. Well, that was quite the smoke show for Brian McCann. We're going to step aside, get our break out of the way here. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Back at Slinger Speedway, Brian McCann victorious here on this quarter-mile short track. We're going to pull the driver of the number 3 up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner, Brian McCann. It's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
It's going good, Brian. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season here. It's taken some time, but you finally hit your stride here with yet another win on this tiny short track here at Slinger Speedway. What was the key to success here tonight? It seemed like strategy played a big part with pit stops, during cautions, even guys going down a lap. What was the mindset coming into tonight?
Oh, yeah, definitely strategy is how you had to play this race. These short tracks, that's strategy. Can make or break a race. And when I went in and pitted on the first stage, I wasn't sure if we was going to go a lap down, but I thought it was a possibility. So I wanted to try it early on, and if it did happen, then I knew not to do it at the second stage. So and that worked out perfectly for me.
Interestingly enough, I mean, the lap times between the new tires versus old were not a significant amount different. I think your last lap of the race was about a 12:73. Neil Quick with fresher right sides ran a 12:74, so it was pretty close across the board. Did you do any practice this week to try and figure out if used tires versus new were any different?
No, I bought the track right before we loaded in, so I didn't get any practice. But during the 1 hour practice before the race, I was looking at the tire wear versus lap count. And to go 200 laps, it was on the edge of, getting a meatball for a flat tire. So that's why I wanted to go into that first stage and get tires just to be on the safe side.
Well, safe side it was, but it still paid off. You end up with a victory here at Slinger Speedway. We look forward to Concord next week, a very unique short track. If I remember correctly, it's like if Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ended up at Pocono Raceway, if I remember correctly. Is that kind of a triangle short track we're going to next week?
That sounds right. I've run some races there a long time ago, so hopefully that comes back to me and I can figure it out right quick.
Well, it should be a fun track for these late model stocks. Brian, congratulations again. Chipping away at that points lead that Turzak has. He had some bad luck here tonight, ended up in a bunch of wrecks. Going into next week, man, who do you want to thank for helping you get it done here tonight?
Yeah, my family, race admins for putting this on, race control for keeping an eye on us, you for doing the broadcast, amazing job. Sponsors make this happen, and the drivers showing up every week. Thank you.
All right, Brian, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck. Brian McCann, your race winner here from Slinger Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to Brandon Mefford. Had a strong run going early on. Led some laps in the early stages of this race. Wasn't able to get it back from Brian McCann, but we got him here in the booth. Brandon, it's Steve and HBR TV. You got us?
I got you, Steve.
Brandon, congratulations, man. Started third, finished second. I guess you can't really shake your fist at that one. A solid run here tonight. You led some laps, as we mentioned. This track seemed to suit your driving style. I know you love these short tracks, but walk us through the game plan coming into tonight and what changed, if anything, maybe pit strategy?
Yeah, the strategy tonight was to keep it clean, first of all, because this track gets in a bowl and it's hard to see through the corners, so anything happens in front of you, you're in trouble. But early on, we were trying to save tires. Wanted to get ahead of Kyle there. I wanted to make him race, and my mouse is doing something funny. But I wanted to get in front of him and do something there, and try to make him burn his stuff up to get back by me, but he was just way too good. So had a couple issues. We got in the pits there to get tires. I wanted to have fresher tires in case he stayed out, and tried to take 2 and ended up taking 4. Lost all my track position there to Brian, and this place is so tough to pass that you're not gonna go back by somebody unless you crash them or you get really lucky on a restart. And I timed one of them really well, but Brian's just too good, and did what he had to do there.
Well, it was actually a really fun race to watch. I'm not going to lie. I know there was some tempers flaring in the back of the pack with some faster guys getting caught up in the minutia there, but it is what it is. Again, a quarter-mile racetrack, these bull rings. I think we actually had a pretty good race considering we only had 13 cars, but I think it was about perfect for this place. We look forward to Concord, the short track, next week. I believe that's kind of a triangle-shaped racetrack. Have you got any laps there in this car or really in anything?
I don't know. We'll see what we got there. I think I've raced here a couple times, but I don't really recall what we got. So we'll go there kind of like we did here and hope for the best and see if we can't get some time to get some laps in.
Well, that's all you can do is hope for the best and put in the work as you do each and every week. Brandon, congratulations again on the second place finish here at Slinger. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, Steve, thanks for doing the broadcast. I know we were a little out on cars tonight, but short track made it for I'm sure some good calls up there in the booth. So thanks for putting the stream on tonight. And then RS12, Chris Wally, Zoe's Place, everybody that helps put on this league, Spartan Logistics, all the drivers that showed out tonight. And thanks to everybody for keeping their hippers in check tonight for the most part. But great fun race, proud to be a part of it. And thanks to my family and everybody for letting me do this.
Well, Brandon, I want to mention, too, I know we're kind of getting into spring here. You guys might be due for another charity event here pretty soon with Care for Kids or Zoe's Place. Is that something in the works in the near future or no?
It would be announced already, but Chris Wally's waiting on me. So we are gonna do something next season in the IROC deal here. We're gonna make it. IROC's gonna help us put this thing on, set a date aside inside their season. So really excited about that. But Chris is gonna get something going for me once I get him what he needs, and once we get that date set, we'll get it out there, everybody.
All right. Well, be sure to post those updates as we get them. Brandon, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Brandon Mefford, your runner-up here at Slinger. We'll talk to the driver of the 2 in that blue deuce. Neil Quick. third place finisher here. Started the race, had an issue, got spun off of turn 4, ended up losing a lap, brought that caution out, but battled back to a third place finish. Looks like he was going to try and take that second spot from Brandon Mefford to no avail, but top 3, I guess he'll settle for it. Neil, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Neil, congratulations, man. As we said, race did not start too well for you. Some trouble early on. You get spun off of turn number 4, and I think you were just kind of waiting for the field to go by, maybe a caution to come out. It wasn't until you finally got back on the track that we got that yellow, but you battled back, got up into the lead lap, and then ultimately a top 3 finish, man. How did you do it?
I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and watch that with Steve because I have no clue. I mean, all I know is I started out underneath somebody at the beginning of the race and bounced off of him off of 3 and spinning down in the middle of the track and trying to get back out of the track and lost a lap there. And then in the process of trying to get my lap back, I ended up getting into Brandon and then got spun again. So I don't know. I mean, fun little track. Had a good time tonight. Just try to keep going forward, working your way forward, and just looked out, and luckily I got back on the lead lap there and could hang with the leaders there. And I raced the whole second part of the race. I think this is the second time this year I've done it with wheel damage. So, but fun track. I'm excited if we go back. I guess we've got another race date here. So, but looking forward, trying to get to spend more time on the sim lately here and get some practice. Just haven't been able to.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and it's proof positive to show that it pays to not give up. You could have just thrown in the towel early on, but you got that lap back, worked your way through, and you come home with the top 3. A solid points day for you for sure as the season continues to wind down. We look forward to Concord next week, that little tiny triangle of a short track. How do you feel about these cars there next week?
I was just talking to Brian about it in the waiting room. I like that track. I like running all kinds of different cars on there, so kind of looking forward to that. But just kind of looking forward to getting back into racing every week and getting back into some other leagues too here.
Certainly looking forward to it, Neil. Congratulations on a top 3 finish here at Slinger, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
Just the sponsors, the league admin. I know R&R, HBR TV does a great job every week. Steve, you guys are one of the reasons we're here racing, so everybody can watch. We appreciate everybody that does watch. So league admin, sponsors, everybody that allows us to do this, family, all that stuff. So look forward to it next week.
All right, Neil, again, congratulations and good luck at Concord.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
It's Neil Quick, your third place finisher here from Slinger Speedway. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we already talked to our top 3 finishers, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick. 4th was Chris Wally. Steve Durbin, strong finish in 5th. Matt Kopp was 6th. Mike Cook was 7th. Larry Bruner, 8th. Josh Stewart came home in the 9th spot. Kyle Turzak in 10th, and that's one he's probably not very happy about. I can't say that I blame him. You get stuck back there in the minutia, and that's kind of what happens at times. You just kind of panic. You try to get back towards the front, stay out of trouble, but at a place like Slinger, a quarter-mile, high-bank, short track, it's hard to stay out of that trouble. Turzak finishing in that 10th spot. Looking forward to next week, I'm sure. Doug Wysocki was 11th, 14 laps down. Newt Quick, 12th. And last but not least, Josh Funkhauser finishes out in that 13th position, 168 laps down. Got to thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. Certainly a fun race. I know we talked about car counts being a little low tonight. That's okay. These little quarter-mile short tracks, honestly, I don't think I would put more than 20 cars on this track. I think it would be a disaster. Even with really good racers out there, I just don't see 20 cars out here having a good night. There's just too many opportunities, not a whole lot of places to pass. As Neil Quick said, it's so difficult. You pretty much have to move a guy out of the way to take that spot. We saw some of that here tonight. A lot of bad decisions on some drivers' parts as well, but that's the way it goes sometimes. All we can do is learn from it and move on. Got to thank you guys all for tuning in. IROC chat was actually kind of busy tonight. Not a lot of different names, but see, Turzak worried about his paint at the beginning. Then we had Justin Kivette. He piped in a few times. Turzak at the end, venting his frustrations, talking about getting wrecked. I'll say it right out. It sucks when we get people wrecking me on purpose because they can't beat me clean, laughing my A off. It's frustration, man. And I can't say that I blame them. But the good news is for him, he still has a pretty solid point lead going into next week, and I think he'll regroup here. He's had a rough few weeks, but I think that'll turn around here in the very near future. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Click the like button in the stream. That helps us, not just here at HBR TV. You can do it at IROC TV as well. We multi-stream to both platforms. Share it if you're so inclined. That's a big help as well. And then check us out, hbrtv1.com. Click the live tab each day of our broadcast, and that should take you right to the day's broadcast link. That's going to wrap it up for us. Congratulations to Brian McCanna's third win of the season here at Slinger Speedway. Tune in next week. We'll see you guys out of Concord. Thanks for watching.
Bye.